The U.S. Justice Department acknowledges that it will miss a deadline set by President Joe Biden to review and release documents from an FBI probe into the 9/11 attacks. The department says that's due to continuing coordination with a number of foreign governments and ongoing interagency review. Under an executive order by Biden, the Justice Department had 6 months to complete reviewing documents from the FBI investigation and make them public. Biden issued the order last September following a request by the families of the 9/11 victims to declassify the documents. The families have contended that the documents would show the Saudi government backed the 2001 attacks. They have already sued Riyadh seeking billions of dollars. The kingdom denies any involvement. The attacks were carried out by 19 hijackers, including 15 Saudi nationals. They left almost 3,000 people dead. Joining me to discuss this issue a little bit further in this news review would be Mr. Barry Grossman, international lawyer and political analyst who joins us out of Bali in Indonesia, as well as Mr. Ryan Dawson, right next to him. He's an author and human rights activist who joins us via Skype out of Osaka, Japan. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us this hour. I'm going to begin with Bali, I guess, with Mr. Grossman to tell us, isn't that interesting, Barry, that the report was supposed to be out, and now that you have the Ukraine war and with Russia possibly out of the equation of the oil market, suddenly the reports that could incriminate Saudi Arabia are not coming out.
They're bringing this up now as a veiled threat to Saudi Arabia to say, hey, they need the oil. They've approached Venezuela. They're re-examining the Iran deal as well. They're desperate for oil because of their own actions and or reaction to Russia's war in Ukraine. However, we already have specifics that nail down Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11. Even without this, they keep raising the bar, and it's really clouded because it's you're kind of caught between the kook and the spook. 9/11, unfortunately, has been morphed into a tar baby by a lot of charlatans that espouse utter nonsense about the event, really far out there conspiracy tales, which has caused other people to throw their hands up in the air and give up on the investigation. But for more serious research, we have very specifics on September 11th and Al-Qaeda in general. It was Prince Turkish bin Faisal Assad that set up the PCCI to create Al-Qaeda in the first place in Afghanistan using diaspora fighters. His sister husband was Bandar Bush, or Prince Bandar bin Sultan. They call him Bandar Bush. And this man, through his wife, actually did send money through intermediaries to 9/11 hijackers, and this is already known. This has already come out of unredacted reports about September 11th from the JIS report, not the 9/11 Commission report, but the Senate investigation into 9/11 already revealed this. They sent money through his wife, with Princess Haifa bin al-Fasil, to Osama Basnan's wife. Osama Basnan is somebody that held a party for the Blind Sheikh, a man who helped orchestrate the World Trade Center attacks of 1993 with Ramzi Youssef, whose uncle, KSM, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, is somebody that two of the hijackers on Flight 77, Nawif al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Midhar, met at an Al-Qaeda summit meeting in Malaysia. The CIA knew this, tracked them there, had their phone tapped, did not share this information, did not compare notes with the NSA, and did not share this information with the FBI until August of 2001. Weeks later, there was September 11th. Well, these two hijackers, using their real names, met Omar Bayoumi in Los Angeles, who helped them get an apartment in San Diego. Omar Bayoumi's wife was getting money from Osama Basnan's wife, who was getting it from the Saudi government. And so they would just use a couple intermediaries to funnel money, tens of thousands of dollars, to known 9/11 hijackers who had already been involved in other terrorist attacks abroad in Europe, who were meeting with KSM at a meeting that the CIA knew about and never informed the FBI. Right there is already a path to Saudi Arabia, and I can keep going and going.
Sure.
These new documents, great, whatever's in them, but they're pretty much unnecessary because we already have them dead to rights involved in September 11th. Yeah, Saudi Arabia did not get one over on the United States. 9/11 was a jointly conducted covert operation similar to Iran-Contra, where the U.S. and the Israelis worked to finance Contras to kill people in Nicaragua. This is a very complicated topic. The problem is the the entire theme of 9/11 has been derailed by charlatans and nonsense, and so it's very hard to even get your foot in the door to talk about the topic because people think they've heard it all. And there is some truly crazy stuff, airplane deniers and all the rest of it. But there is a real narrative about September 11th that people do need to know about. The issue is, how do you get it out there and separate yourself from the kooks and the spooks, which I've been trying to do for 20 years.
Thank you very much. That's Mr. Ryan Dawson, author and human rights activist out of Osaka, Japan.